All right. What's poppin', gamers? Did the game freeze up? It might have frozen up. Yeah, let's relaunch the game because it's a very special port. Oh, it's the controller that disconnected. Okay, cool.
Sweet dreams.
One more try, one more try. All right. Do you guys want me to do a countdown or what?
Yeah, give us a countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Wait, no, actually, I got to do this stuff first. 3, 2, 1. All right, go, I guess. This is Devil May Cry. Woo! Yeah, I know. This is Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. This is played on the 2006 PC port, and that is a very, very special port. We had a lot of fun trying to set it up here. And we're instantly just going to switch to Royal Guard style. And, okay, well, that didn't go as planned. And normally what would happen there is Royal Guard is a style based around counters. Like that. And blocking heavy hits. So, normally what would happen is I would just instantly obliterate that first wave of 3 enemies, but that didn't happen. But that happened, so yeehaw. Anyway, this is probably the game, addition to Devil May Cry 1, that really reinvented action games. They were kind of really bad for a long time until Devil May Cry 1 came out. And then Devil May Cry 2 came out, and that was not a good game. It was a very interesting game, but it was not a good game. And this guy got called Hideki Itsuno, I think. I'm probably blanking on one of the parts of his name. He got handed the reins of the Devil May Cry franchise, and he turned 3 into one of the best action games that's ever been made, if not the best action game that's ever been made. All right, so that's an A rank, but we're going to keep going because this is a no reset marathon run. Normally, I would get an S rank there, which means taking no damage or just, you know, generally being fast, getting a lot of orbs, which you get based on your style and how you kill enemies. But that's all right. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is something called a crazy combo. If you mash your button very hard during a specific part of your attack combo string, you will do something called a crazy combo. And you can extend that by mashing further, and usually the last hit of it does a lot of damage. And that's what we took advantage of there, because it knocked the enemies back very far and kind of just made a wave of downed enemies that were very easy to hit. Anyway, Royal Guard. It comes out pretty much instantly as a block. And that lets you basically block everything in the game. So even though like a raft exploding from you shooting it is about like 1 or 2 frames in this game. I don't know the exact frame data on that, sorry. I mean, this is DreamHack, I should know frame data. Geez Louise. We can just block instantly out of that. And that's gonna be useful in a lot of places because one of the things we'll do with Royal Guard, one of the things we'll be doing with Royal Guard as well is canceling our animations with it. It's not being used that much right now because we only have the default weapon, Rebellion, and the default guns, Ebony and Ivory. But in just a little bit, they're going to be... I'm pretty much positive I don't have enough for Stinger 2 here. Yeah, I'm just like 8 short, darn it. Normally, we'd very much want Stinger 2 here because it's our movement choice. But anyway, going back to what I was saying earlier, we have our default loadout, but we're about to get the shotgun, which is extremely powerful in this game if you know how to abuse it. And you automatically pick it up. You can't avoid it. So I'm going to have to do this fight a little differently than I normally do, because normally I would start out with a Stinger 2 hit, but that did not happen. Anyway, this is shotgun guard canceling. You basically just instantly output the shotgun and cancel it. with guard, and it's very, very broken. These enemies have a lot of health, and we are just evaporating them. So you can see, based on that little green orb right next to my health meter, that I have a little bit of guard. I do not now, though. Since I had started the sentence, the guard situation has changed. Anyway, that's the club fight. That actually went pretty darn well, considering I completely beefed the start. Anyway, we are going to be headed over to a red orb crystal, and we are going to get a lot of red orbs in this run. You get them based on, in normal gameplay, you get them based on how effectively you're utilizing the game's in-game score system called the style system, as well as your overall mission rank. Style just means you keep your moves fresh and you keep them varied and, what am I doing? And it's a very, very fun mechanic that actually got me hooked on this series. Anyway, you can also hit red orb statues. Anyway, first boss. I don't count mission 2 boss as a boss. You kind of have to pay attention to this guy, because he's got 3 different, like that. He's got 3 different heads, and they all deal different attacks. And so you got to pay attention to which one is active at the current time. The strat is hitting him a bunch and hoping he gets knocked down. Like that. So now I'm just going to wail on him for completely free damage. It's actually really finicky to get him downed, but he was very cooperative, and I got a head down, which is exactly what I wanted to have happen. So he's going to say, "You aren't human, aren't you?" And he's going to go back into putting ice on his heads. And now I'm just going to kill him. That works because release deals a ton of damage if you counter it when it's stocked. Otherwise, it deals, it's okay damage if you just release it at any other time. But when it's countered and you have a lot of guard built up, it's a powerhouse. It is by far the most defensive style in the game, or offense-based style in the game, despite the name being Royal Guard. But now I can show you what the movement in this game is supposed to look like. It's a mix of a lot of things. It's mostly just using Stinger 2 and canceling the ending animation of that with Royal Guard. And that lets you approach enemies super quickly and get through areas very quickly. Also, we got a weapon from killing Cerberus. It's Cerberus. It's a 3-pronged nunchuck thingy, and we are going to be using it not that much because it's not that good. Anyway, just shotgun guard cancel these guys. I want this guy to come over here. All right, he is not being cooperative. Shotgun guard cancels do knock enemies back a lot, so you kind of have to be paying attention to where they are relative to something like a wall or like what type of enemy is getting knocked back. So most basic enemies at this point in the game, they will get blown away if they get hit by shotgun pellets. Are you not dead? You're not dead. I'm sorry, I thought you did your death animation. Okay, I beat that. It's all right. I'm not as good as the world record holder, Peter Afro. By the way, it's Peter Afro's birthday today, very coincidentally. Can we get a happy birthday, Peter Afro, from the chat and people watching? That's a joke. It's not Peter Afro's birthday, actually. Peter Afro has a garbage time at this game. The real world record holder is a guy named Simodius, who just completely destroyed everyone else who's played this game. Peter Afro, though, you're legally not allowed to wish him happy birthday if your name is Gladerlol, so hope Glader didn't do that. That's a complicated story, and I'm not going to get into it because I'm busy playing this speed game. Okay, so something you may have noticed is that when you get too close to a red door, the door starts attacking you. And that's because the door is technically an enemy, although it's not. It can deal damage to you, and you can guard it, and you can release off it like a damage source. But it's there to say, hey, get away from this. How are you not dead? There we go. All right, that fight went pretty well. All right, I actually almost fell off the edge there because I'm a good video game player. Anyway, we're supposed to fall down this staircase, and we're going to start a fight called the Pit. The Pit is very heavily scripted with what you do. That is what you do. I really want these guys to release off me, and I unfortunately missed that, but that's okay. This guy's still going to die pretty quickly. All right, completely mistimed that. The guard timing, by the way, is actually extremely strict in this game. It's about 1/10 of a second, and because we're playing on a mode called Turbo, it's actually a lot less. As in, 5 frames or a little bit less in a 60 FPS game. So every time I get a guard, I actually am playing this game well. Anyway, this is Gigapede. The strategy on this boss is hit the head, and also know what you're doing. If you don't know to hit the head, you're going to have a fun time in this fight. And by that, I mean the exact opposite. So I'm just going to hit the head like that, get him very close to his next damage phase, start doing something called switch cancels, which are canceling the combo string of my current weapon with another combo string of another weapon. And that is a good way to deal a lot of damage super quickly. Anyway, that's a boss right there. I had the wrong weapon out, so I did attack I did not want to do. Anyway, that is mission 4. We're kind of obliterating the early missions in this game. They go by very, very quickly. And it's only the later missions that are kind of lengthy because the game then says, oh, we have Resident Evil roots. We kind of need to pay attention to, make you progress through like items and stuff like that. Anyway, the gimmick of these enemies is that there are 2 types of damage sources in the game, and the game never tells you about this, by the way, because this game is cryptic. There's gun damage, which is exactly what it sounds like. I really need to get that guy stoned. All right, well, I guess I didn't get him. And there's melee damage. If you hit these guys with melee damage before you hit him with gun damage, they will divide into a clone that has just as much health as the original had. Also, where is this guy? Also, he divided. There were supposed to be 4 enemies here, and now there are 5. That is a wall. So the game never tells you this, but it's supposed to be something you figure out as you play. For instance, this boss right here, Jester, which is exclusive to Special Edition, he does not take much damage from guns, but he takes a lot of damage from melee sources. In fact, that's typical of most bosses. There are some bosses that you can't really damage with guns at all, and that's sort of to encourage you to not play like you were playing in Devil May Cry 2, in which guns were extremely overpowered. So what we're going to do is switch cancel this guy. We're going to rotate our position a little bit because these ball patterns are random, and we're just trying not to get hit by the balls like that. Anyway, he's about to dead, and there we go. Gonna get those red orbs because I did get an A rank earlier when I was supposed to get an S rank, and that will leave my overall orb count a little bit shorter than I would like it to be. So we're just gonna play it safe for a marathon run because having a very specific number of red orbs at the end of the game is pretty important going fast. Shout out to Peter Afro again. He does not know how to do that trick, which is just jumping down a ledge and then rotating yourself back onto the ledge. All right, so we're just backtracking now because we got an item that we're supposed to insert into this thing. Because, yeah. If you really don't know what to do where in this game, casual playthroughs can be a little annoying, but once you figure it out, it's basically just, routine. It's very quick to do. Oh, I want a shotgun guard can't on you. Okay, that'll work. Anyway, these guys are called Enigmas. They shoot out shots randomly, and their spread and pattern is mostly RNG-based. You can sort of manipulate them in very specific circumstances, but basically they're just going to do whatever the heck they want. Anyway, that's the room cleared. And we're going to do another free ride here, because I don't think I actually explained this earlier. If you jump on a downed enemy, you start spinning around on them, and you basically ride them like a surfboard. If you pull out Ebony and Ivory while you're on that downed enemy and shoot it once, you'll start spinning around like a crazy person that Dante is. And you will extend your free ride and do a little bit of damage. Anyway, this elevator has a gimmick. It's called not letting enemies on the elevator. Shoutouts to me losing runs to this all the time because I try to style on it, and you don't need to do that.
As a longtime fan of this game, your style is amazing.
Oh, no, I'm not even that good at this game, to be perfectly honest. Like,
Better than I've ever been.
all right, I'll take the compliment then. Oh, all right, I messed that up. This is what I mean by trying to style. Just jumping off the elevator and getting back on, and it causes enemies to spawn off the elevator when they wouldn't possibly ever land on it. When you could just, do this, and, they're downed. Anyway, we're going to jump up there and hit the trigger for getting out of this area a little bit early. Like I mentioned, we are a little short on orbs, so I am going to get this backup orb cache. These are hidden pretty well in the game, so don't expect to find them casually, unless, you do a lot of scouting. And we're coming up onto a boss, Agni and Ruja. It's actually 2 bosses. There's a really interesting gimmick in this fight, and that is, actually, it's a 2-thing. You do not want to kill one of them before you kill the other one of them, or leave the other one alive for a while, because that will cause them to combine, and that is a very bad thing, because it means they don't take more damage from guns than they're supposed to. Like right now, I can just shotgun guard cancel these guys in the face. Also, I let him get away because I wasn't paying attention. And yeah. Come on, get hit. So you want to do a shotgun hit on them, make them guard, and then they'll parry an attack out of that, and then you can counter that attack and make them drop their sword. All right, I had to do that one a little bit blind because I didn't really have the timing for it. Couldn't see what was going on. All right, that somehow worked. All right, so we are gonna have a fun scene called This Guy Combines because I messed up. Actually, no, he's gonna be nice and let me kill him. All right. You can't skip that cutscene if he combines, and it's just a free 30-second time loss, so very glad that did not happen. Also, we leveled up our style now. Your style levels up based on the enemies you kill, and in the course of a normal playthrough, aka speedrun of this game, you will level Royal Guard up to its maximum style. Normally, that just means you get more guard to stock, so that your counters do way more damage. But the level 2 one is very significant because it lets you air guard. And I haven't been doing this because I am bad at this game, but there's a technique called roll guarding, which is rolling, and because you get iframes out of your roll, you can instantly cancel the iframe part of your guard, or your roll with a guard. And that lets you basically increase your guard window to something much larger than it should be. There's another similar technique called jump guarding because you get a little bit of iframes out of your jump. But that's a little bit more complicated to do. Also, I'm just going to free ride this guy down here because this is much easier than running down the hallway and faster. And there's a thing we're not even doing yet called reverse stingers, but when that time arises, I will point them out. So this is a puzzle. I'm solving a puzzle right now. I love puzzles. I'm a very intellectual gamer. There we go, we solved the puzzle. And I messed up at the end, but that's all right. Very important that you not guard cancel next to those posts, because you will read them, because for whatever reason, your style button is the same as your interact button. And it just means you gotta read the text, and it's slow. So normally we just jump out of that area so that we can do something to cancel that ending lag of our stinger animation. Anyway, 6 missions down. So I haven't explained the plot of this game at all. Dante is a crazy boy. He is the son of basically the Messiah Jesus figure of this universe, who's a demon. And the demon betrayed his own kind and said, hey, stop it, to the demons. And they stopped it, and they stopped trying to invade the human world. And so he basically became the Messiah figure. Dante is his son, but he's also half human. There's also another brother called Virgil, who we'll be meeting at the end of this mission, and he's probably going to kick my teeth in. A lot of this game is whether or not... It's basically an extended metaphor for Dante and Virgil, that's your brother, arguing between each other whether or not the human side of you makes you powerful or makes you weaker. Virgil thinks it makes him weaker, so he loses. Anyway, that's a fun little puzzle right there, and by that I mean just jumping on trampolines. So we picked up an item there called a holy water. We're just going to be dropping that later. It's think of it as like your grenade. Anyway, reverse stainers. You don't have to be locked onto an enemy to use the stainer, but you do have to be holding down lock on. Anyway, jump cancels. The weapon we got from defeating Agni and Rudra, Christ, is very powerful when it has this one move. However, it knocks enemies back very strongly, except these guys can't be knocked back, so you use that to kill them very quickly. It's a fairly hard technique to do, actually, but it is a very good way to deal a lot of damage very quickly. Speaking of dealing damage, I'm getting hit a lot. That probably is not going to matter because I know where the health is and stuff in this mission. Or, you know, the game's just going to, you know, drop me the health. Anyway, so this mission plays a big trick on you if you're playing this game casually, which is if you're not going down that bouncy trampoline area first in the mission, you can't finish the mission until you go back to that area. So basically, this means you got to make an extra backtrack. We know what we're doing. I'd like to think what we know what we're doing. So we get that item early. I should probably not be talking about the routing, like the order of the fetch quest too much, because that's not very interesting compared to just, you know, bashing a demon in. Anyway, switch canceling. I brought that up with Cerberus back when I had it. You can have two weapons at once. Right now, my loadout is Rebellion, which we'll be keeping for the entire game because it is our movement option, and Agni and Rudra. We will be switching out Agni and Rudra later, but that's a spoiler. Switch canceling with Agni, Rudra, and Rebellion is extremely damaging, and it's very fast, and it feels like next to no knockback. So we're able to just hit this ball and chain without causing knockback. Normally that would just fly around a room, but that did not happen because we know what we're doing with knockback values. Please lock onto the right enemy, thank you. All right, it's actually pretty important that I be fast in this room, not just because it's a speedrun, but because these guys will start spawning enemies that are very annoying to deal with. So I gotta kill him pretty much right now. Okay. Well, no, actually, he spawned both of them, so. All right, normally in a marathon run, I'd be picking up an item here called the Gold Orb. That, because we chose a hidden menu option at the start of the game, as in the game never tells you what it is, gold versus yellow, we can revive instantly if we pick it up. However, I'm just gonna hope I don't die. Good marathon strat. Sorry if I'm sounding a little tired. I am tired, and also I'm moderately out of practice of this game because I got very distracted reading a book right as I was supposed to be practicing for this marathon run. But that's okay. We're still gonna smash our estimate most likely, unless I like really beat it. Absolutely, go ahead.
All right, we have a $19.99 donation from Battler saying, "Hey, Bun, your pal Battler Ushiromiya here. Loving the run. I just have one question. Since magic isn't real, how is Dante doing all these crazy moves? Can you say it in red? Good luck and put this donation towards killing the witches."
All right, so to explain that book I was talking about, that's actually not a book. It's a visual novel called Umineko something something something. That's a character from it, and it's basically just a giant ruse cruise of a story. And that is what I got distracted with instead of practicing this game. Because I know how to play on my time.
Doesn't it also have a fighting game?
Oh, yes, it does, because why not?
I knew it sounded familiar. I've played that game.
All right, so Dante rode on the pole there. You never want to ride the pole, by the way. It's slow, and it doesn't deal much damage. But we have finished like 90% of the objectives in this mission. Now we're just going to face off our brother, who's hanging out at the top of this tower. Apparently this tower can revive demon power or something. I don't know. It's honestly been a while since I've watched like the story cutscenes of this game. This game has fantastic cutscenes, by the way. They're all motion capped and done extremely well. And honestly, it's a testament to like how good the motion cap technology was at the time. That the animations in this game look so good. Anyway, this is Virgil. We're going to start by staying near him in the face. He's going to do that. I already messed up. What was that, Dante? All right, so when he's doing this, all right, do that. I'm trying to be canceling my third hit of Rebellion, but that's not going so well right now. And that's just to reduce the knockback you deal to him. And then you just hit him a few times with a shotgun from pretty much point-blank range. Oops, missed that timing up. I'm about to die if I'm not already dead. I'm dead, yeehaw. Okay, so like I said, he kicks our teeth in. I did play that a little bit riskier than I was planning to. Virgil, at least, mostly has a predictable attack pattern, but he can do things that you aren't going to expect every once in a while. The big one that he can do is he can do a very quick uppercut move like that, or he can do a rapid slash, which is his forward charge move. Anyway, you just gotta guard his attacks while you're next to him. Wow, I am not being able to guard this today. Also, he auto parries after a certain amount of knockback is dealt to him. Like that. Wow, he's just... Okay, cool. Wow, this is... Really? Okay. I'm not even blaming myself for that one. He just decided to be maybe the biggest jerk I've seen in a long time. So I'm currently beefing it right now, but that is okay because my estimate for this game is very solid. Unless it's a minute, it's an hour 30. Okay, so yeah, we're good. So I'm just gonna let him do this. All right, now I know how to guard. That's how my guard cancels. All right, so I'll tell you that at the end of this fight, we lose. Like, no matter how much you style on Virgil, you lose at the end. Like right now, we're doing pretty okay styling on him. I'm just gonna taunt, because why not? And we get ourselves stabbed in the chest at the end of this fight. And that gives us a new mechanic in this game called Double Trigger, because why not? Double Trigger is the equivalent of this game's meter, if you want to think of it in fighting games terms, because we are a DreamHack. Right now, that's not the right menu. I'm going to upgrade it to its 5th level. Yeah. And just get as much meter as possible. I can't do it to the 6th level right now, but I will be able to do it before the end of this mission. And that is very important, not just because Double Trigger does a bunch of good things, but it does a bunch of good things in less obvious ways. So, try to remember everything it does. Its effects vary, by the way, depending on what weapon you have out. All right, cool. That's a back way to get up to this, but I completely forgot you're not supposed to interact with those things. So anyway, it gives you a little bit of health regeneration. Also, you're supposed to be switch canceling this. It gives you a little bit of health regeneration. It makes you move faster. It makes you attack faster. It makes you deal a little bit more damage. It makes you tank hits way better than you normally do. And there's another mechanic that the game explains once and then forgets about, called Double Trigger Explosion. And that is when you hold down your Double Trigger button, you can build up, depending on how much reactive runes you have. That's the thing below my health bar. Depending on how many of those you have stocked and how many you have charged up, you will deal an explosion that deals a lot of damage, and it's very effective in a lot of places. Not really on bosses, though, because it counts as gun damage for whatever reason, so yeah. Now I'm going to stinger that guy, jump on him, free ride. Whoops. All right, I was supposed to extend that free ride, but that's all right. Taunt his body, because, why not? Anyway, I'm going to be charging up my double trigger, and that means those little orbs will be glowing red. I'm going to build up my style with a million stabs here, and I'm just going to pop my double trigger explosion, and that instantly gets me a triple S rank. The way this room works is it's kind of a unique mechanic not seen anywhere else in the game. Based on how stylishly you play this room, the number of red orbs dropped from enemies increases. So that thing in the center of the room, it eats up... Where am I? I'm lost. Eats up red orbs, and the more red orbs you give it, the faster it gets. It'll just go down faster. So you got to play stylishly in that room, and that's one of the few rooms where you actually really play to the style meter. Normally, we just ignore it and say like, okay, well, fast is fast. Anyway, this is that boss we fought in Mission 4. We're just going to run away from him because I don't want to deal with him. You can kill him. It's extremely slow, but you can kill him. So we're very close to entering... Oh, wow, that's not the angle you're supposed to get at all there. Sometimes the game's a little finicky about what enemy you're going to lock onto. Devil May Cry 4 is much better in that regard, but 3, got to take what you can get. Anyway, so this game grades you on how many items you use in a mission. However, it does not grade you on the items you buy during a mission, and buying a purple orb there refills your double trigger stock. And so that means we get a free double trigger explosion for this mission. Right now, we're just going to shoot this thing. This is an organ system, by the way. Like, these are lungs or something, and this is the heart. So we're just going to switch cancel, and we're going to jump cancel if these guys will be in a good spot for that. That was not a good spot for that. And guard cancel, shotgun attacks. You can see how much damage the aerial cross move of Agni and Ruger does, by the way. It's a lot of damage. Anyway, free roll guards here. I'm trying to release through this. All right. Okay, I messed that up completely, but that's all right. I'm about to die. It's okay, though. I think I'm okay. All right, I almost died, but we're okay now. Oh, no, we're not. No, ha. Okay, so I think we're at 3 deaths now, maybe 4. I try to stop counting to make myself feel better. But normally this fight goes pretty smoothly. I really just think that because I entered it without guard on my royal guard gauge, it kind of got messed up. Because normally what you do is you... Wow, okay, I just could not read those guys. Normally you enter this area with guard, and then you just release it from a release that those little guys called enemies do right there. And that is a very good way to deal a lot of damage to the Leviathan Heart at a very short period of time. Also, I accidentally opened up the menu there because I'm playing on a Xbox One controller, and the D-pad right does open up the item menu. All right, so you're gonna give me more guard. Hopefully I can get something here. Nope, messed it up again. Oh, that is just mean of you, buddy. It's okay, I didn't really deserve that, but all right. All right, so I'm just gonna run it to this and hit it once, and because it's about to die, and so am I. All right, very good job by myself. All right, so normally we get a damage S for that mission. That was damage C. That's no bueno. Anyway, this mission has one of my favorite bosses casually in it. It's terrible in the speedrun, but one of my favorite bosses casually, as well as one of the coolest tricks in the speedrun, as in basically the only trick. And we'll be seeing that in a bit. Right now, I just want to hit these spiders. You switch cancel them a lot, and each hit with Agni and Ruger deals more damage than normal because they're elementally weak to it. That's a mechanic the game never explained to you, by the way. Some things are elementally weak to other things. But the optimal strat is getting them stunned like that, hitting them with a stinger, knocking them down, and then A&R jump canceling them. I messed that up there, but that's okay. Wow, that actually hit me. Anyway, hit an orb cache here. All right, and this next area is either going to go extremely well or I'm not going to do well. So I enter it with double trigger sprints. I get up here basically pretty much instantly. And I hope this guy gives me a reliable shot pattern. Because when you royal release off certain ledges in this game, that was my shot, but I didn't realize it. When you release off certain ledges in this game, you go extremely fast. You go so fast, you clip out of bounds. In fact, I'm just going to show this off anyway because it looks so cool. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Also, the targeting here is really messed up, so... That was my shot, but I missed it. There we go. That saves you about like 15 seconds if you get that first try. I did not get it first try, so... Anyway, we're just going to guard a spinning blade column thing, because that gives us a bunch of style, a bunch of double trigger, and a bunch of guard. Because yes, you can guard everything in this game except Leviathan Acid, because apparently that counts as a continuous damage source, not as a frame-based damage source. So we're going to use that double trigger we just stocked to run through this area very, very quickly. Not really caring if we get hit in the face. And now we're going to get this item. Me and Top Runner completely disagree on this thing that we're going to be doing later, but that's a later thing. Right now, I'm just going to release that spider and just kill it instantly. All right, that was mistimed. Like I mentioned, guards are like quite literally less than 1/10 of a second. Like every other game has really loose parry mechanics from what I've seen, or much looser parry mechanics. No, this game has, if you're not on point with your guards, you are not going to use the style effectively. All right, I got him in this cluster right here, so I'm just going to hope I can multi-hit them. And one got out. All right, so me and another runner disagree on this strat coming up. I think, wow, I locked onto the baby spiders, cool. Me and another runner completely disagree on the strat. I think that it's faster to kill yourself, because, double trigger warning, by the way, because you get warped to the start of this hallway, and you can do something called a quick recovery, is if you hit any face button before you land on the floor, Dante will get up very quickly. Anyway, we're back over here. And that saves you from running down that hallway, and that's, in my opinion, like maybe 3 seconds faster from what I've timed, but I don't know, the other runner I'm disagreeing with, Simodis, who's the actual world record holder, not Peter Afro. He says that because of things like the amount of guard you can have and the amount of double trigger stocked, it can make this next area a little slower. Anyway, it's a complex thing to time, so yeah. Anyway, this is Nevin. She's like a vampire succubus prostitute, because this game's good. Anyway, she's gonna do this. All right, I need to guard all 4 of these, by the way. That did not happen. I did get full guard, so we're just gonna roll with what I got. Knock her down. That did not knock her down. She's a little finicky to do that with every now and then. You can either shotgun blast her in the face, or you can do what I was trying to do there, which is an aerial cross. Also, just roll guard that, because the entire floor becomes electric. She's not doing a nice pattern right now. Anyway, normally what would happen in a good speedrun is you do something called a 2-cycle. And that is by knocking her down twice and hitting her a bunch with roll guard stuff. All right, I had to completely fish for that guard. And you can do that by just like tapping B and sort of the rhythm. All right, she's actually about to kill me, so I'm just gonna take it a little slower here. I think she's going into her kissy phase. If she tries to kiss you, she will absorb your health. You just counter that by going to double trigger and she can't kiss you. Anyway, that did not go exactly as planned, but I suppose it did not go as badly as it could have gone. Reminder to stay hydrated. Yeah, 5 minutes in game time. That's not good for that mission. But like I said, it's okay. All right. This mission is, in my opinion, complete padding for the game. There's a few missions where like it feels like you don't do anything relevant to the game's story, or like, you know, having fun. This is one of those missions. I kind of zone out when I play this. You kind of just backtrack a lot. Anyway, the way I do that is, in this area at least, I free ride this guy a lot. I need you to free ride on it again. I shoot him once with E and I after I shoot him with a shotgun, because that makes his getting knocked down on the ground animation faster for whatever reason. So it does save a little bit of time if you're trying to free ride an enemy. That is not the thing I need to interact with. That is the thing I need to interact with. Anyway, we're going to pick up this thing that we couldn't get earlier. Also, I should mention that Devin did drop a weapon. It's the coolest weapon in the game, and maybe the entire series. It is an electric guitar that shoots vampire bats that are also made of electricity out, and it is so much fun to play with. But unfortunately, it is slower for the speedrun, and also you have to upgrade it a lot to get its full potential. All right, these enemies I just do not want to like. Wow, that was some crazy lag. This game is extremely special, or at least I should say this port. It was kind of done by Ubisoft instead of Capcom, because I don't know why. But it was done by Ubisoft's like D team, and it for whatever reason, the sound effects files and the music files, they eat up like 95% of your computer's resources when they play. And it's, you basically have to use external mods to fix that. It's this one mod called Style Switcher, and it makes the game run slightly smoother, but not really. I just disable like the style switching part, which is like being able to hot swap your style like you can in Devil May Cry 4. Anyway, I should mention that if you want to play this game casually, the recent PC port of the HD collection is probably your best bet. All right, no, you aren't dead yet. I can't do this yet. Because these fighters are extremely annoying to fight, so normally I just... all right, I kind of expected that to happen, to be perfectly honest, but... Anyway, how that's supposed to work is you're supposed to kill the green spider and one white spider very quickly, and then the enemy waves change so that you get a very favorable pattern of enemies to deal with, and then you just use a holy water and you're out of the area. That did not happen, because I messed up a guard. The green spiders has ever so slightly different guard timings than the white spiders, so that's fun to deal with. All right, cool. Need to hit this guy like once or twice. I'm just going to switch cancel on while I wait for the other white spider to spawn. Where is the other white spider? There he is. Cool. That is not the menu that I want. Where is this menu? Am I insane? Okay, apparently I was pressing the wrong part on the D-pad. Anyway, that's the first use of holy water in the run. It's an extremely powerful item, and we get a limited amount of it. Spoiler, we use all these red orbs to completely stock holy waters at the very end of the game, and it's next to required for a certain boss who's just complete garbage. I say that as like, in a speedrun perspective, a casual perspective, a style perspective, like all perspectives, it's not a well-designed boss. It takes away a lot of your mechanics as you play it and gives you your brother Virgil as token compensation. Except his AI is terrible and he doesn't lock onto things very well, and you kind of have to make him do all the work. Otherwise, because your style is gone as well as your double trigger is gone, you will get destroyed. But that's going to be coming up later, so like right at the end of the run. So anyway, these are boos from Super Mario 64 or whatever Mario game you want them to be from. Their strat is you cannot hit them if you're facing them, but if you turn around, they have a brief period where they become invulnerable, so you use that to your advantage. Anyway, fun fact, I used this earlier in Mission 8 where I was inside that Leviathan creature, but shooting your gun, specifically your E and I, raises you up a few pixels in height, or voxels if you want to be super specific with like 3D modeling and stuff. But whatever. And you can use that to get on top of this area, because normally you gotta sort of do a short little puzzle about jumping on swords to get up here, but no. Anyway, the strat for this block is to guard cancel it. I'm not doing that very well right now. There we go. All right, and now enemies will spawn. All right, so this is the first time we're fighting. Oh, wow. Just give me the worst pattern instantly. He doesn't even do that normally. Okay, so you'll see how effective double trigger explosion is against enemies, because damn. He's got like next to no health. Well, he's got like less than half health now. Also, this is not where I want him to be at all. I want him to be in an area where I can have him and the Soul Eaters, which are the Boo enemies, right next to each other. Goodness gracious, these guys are not cooperating. They teleport around too, so that makes them fun to track down and kill. Anyway, so fun fact about the PC 2006 version, not a lot of people notice. Pay attention to Dante, because he's about to die. Yeah, so you have PC control during in-game cutscenes using your keyboard, and I've never figured out a good explanation for why that is. But it's a thing, so it's actually faster in a few places, but I've been keeping that secret so I can reveal Dante dying right there. Anyway, this is Temperance Wagon. It's kind of just a very claustrophobic area designed to force you to play sort of defensively and offensively at the same time. But that doesn't really matter because we have double trigger explosion and we know what switch cancels are. And also, I cannot switch cancel right now. Mamma mia. Also, that Enigma got some free shots on me. You can shoot down Enigma projectiles, but the timing's a little strict. You can also guard them, but the timing's also strict for that. Wow, White Orb, cool. Normally we don't get that until next mission. Anyway, White Orb just refills your double trigger partially. It's just sort of a random drop that can happen after you kill an enemy based on how much double trigger you have stocked. Anyway, boss time. This guy actually fought Dante's dad a long time ago, Sparta. And we're going to hit him in the face a bunch, because that's his weak point. This is actually an extremely fun point in the speedrun, and by that I mean stressful, because he can do something that'll just make you lose a lot of time. And that is... Actually, it's your fault if you don't get it. Oh, wow, that was good jump cancels. Okay, so we got it. Cool. All right, so we got him down first phase. Very good. You got to release through him in a very specific way and hit a very specific part of his hitbox to deal a ton of damage. And if you don't get that, he goes into a phase where he basically cannot take damage for like 20 seconds, I think. And if you miss that, it's just you lose 20 seconds. Anyway, I think I can get it now. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I definitely can. All right, that's our last purple orb we buy. And so the thing we just got is some sort of demon artifact thing, I don't know. What it does is it gives us infinite double trigger, but we can't cancel out of it. We can't use double trigger explosion, and it saps our health instead of regenerating it. Thankfully, while you have that active, every enemy you kill is guaranteed to drop you a green orb, so you don't just die. Anyway, now the name of the game is just switch cancel everywhere. Actually, the name of the game is Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. But, yeah. Jeez Louise, what? I didn't even lock onto anything. I just decided to spin 180 degrees. I should also mention, I did mention the PC version control during cutscenes thing. This version also has a lot of other weird quirks. The lighting effects just don't work properly in this version. If you compare this to like the PS2 version, like HD Collection, like other stuff, this game kind of looks really washed out, and a lot of the shadows and lighting effects don't work. It's kind of odd, but... And that was the wrong weapon, but that's okay. Another thing it has is random despawns, and that sounds like it's amazing, except it's based on how good your computer is. My computer is quite good, because I upgraded recently. And how it used to work is if you step into an enemy during a lag frame, as they stepped into you, they would just instantly disappear. Also, that's a glide move you have. So that would mean that randomly, like something like a Hell Vanguard could just completely despawn on you, and you would instantly finish a mission, and it would be extreme amounts of time saved. It doesn't happen for me anymore. It's very sad. All right, so you know the name of this game is backtracking. So I'm not going to use my guard here, even though it would be faster in a few places, because there is a boss coming up at the end of this mission, and guard is extremely important for that boss. Was that a question from the staff? I couldn't really hear it. It sounded quiet. Ah, dang. I was hoping to get some guard from that door. That doesn't really matter because we're pretty much guaranteed guard in the next area. But still, that would have been nice. Anyway, this room is pretty special, as in there's something called angle snapping in this game. And normally that just means it's hard to do precise jumps or wall kicks. But because I've sort of practiced this game, sort of, not very much. Also, I just wasted my guard. I can just get up there quickly. Jeez Louise, Dante. All right, now you're getting him. All right, just easy triple S rank. Right, that should be enough guard. Thought that guy was dead. Oh, and there's another enemy I completely missed. Reminder, you can taunt whenever the heck you want in this game by pressing select, and it's a very cool feature and actually does things. Like gives you style, gives you double trigger, changes the enemy AI slightly, and looks cool. Last port is the most important part, by the way. So this is a horse. It's a fight in two phases. Phase 1 is garbage. Phase 2 is also garbage, but that's not important right now. We're going to get to that bridge later. So what you do is you just Helmbreaker him, and he goes down. His weak point is his face, and if you don't know that, you're basically just playing a chicken fight with him. But, okay, so from here on, his AI is pretty predictable in a lot of places. So because we haven't gotten a death in this mission, he's going to do the spinny carriage attack thing, and I'm just going to guard through it and basically get full guard. So now I'm going to wait for him to slightly move, and then Hellbreaker him again. Double trigger here, just so I get increased damage. This guy is one of those bosses that takes like next to no damage from guns. So double trigger explosion doesn't really do much on him. Just release through him. That's actually a really tight release. I'm surprised I got that without getting owned. I should mention, this guy can kill you in 3 hits. Look how much damage that is. Ooh, all right, now sort of have to be careful now. And by that I mean just play risky. I will double trigger though, just so I can guarantee that I won't take as much damage if I do get hit again. Also, this guy's gimmick is that he slows down time. All right, cool. I had to fish for that guard, but I got it. It's all that matters in the end. All right, and he's down. That fight can actually be really stressful because you got to backtrack quite a bit to start that fight again if you mess it up. Anyway, to explain what's been going on in the story, there's been some guy called Arkham who's been helping Virgil try to revive his father's power. And Virgil at one point says, nah, you're not worth it anymore, and just stabs him in the chest, and he dies. Spoiler, he does not actually die. But we'll figure that out this mission. All right, so the name of the game against the pawns, we saw a little bit of these guys earlier, but like they weren't really a combat enemy, they were just kind of there. Is jump cancel, because they don't get knocked back. These are based off chessboard pieces, and this enemy right here is a bishop, and it is annoying because it can either do a fireball attack or it can just heal all of its friends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a double trigger explosion. I don't know why I didn't build that up earlier, but I wasn't really paying attention, to be perfectly honest. And then I'm just going to pop here, and everyone's dead. Now I have just a little bit of double trigger to go down this staircase, because you can't really stinner cancel when you're going down spiral staircases. I mean, you sort of can, but it's like maybe a few frames faster if you get it perfectly, and you're probably going to mess up. All right, cool. That's a tricky reverse stinger. Anyway, light puzzle. We know the solution, so we're going to solve it instantly. And get an item we need to progress in the mission. Spoiler, the boss we're going to be fighting is Virgil again, so... Except this time, it's actually really funny, because Dante gets... Funny to me, at least. Dante gets weapons when he defeats significant bosses, or at least he gets abilities. You don't actually kill Beowulf. Beowulf escapes at the very end of his fight, and he runs over to Virgil, and then Virgil kills him. And guess what? Virgil got the weapon, and he's going to use it on us. All right, so this is a very specific thing I'm doing it in terms of my damage. All right, I think I got it. Normally what happens is he just activates double trigger, and because he just got it himself, of course, he starts completely destroying you. I did get it, cool. But what you can do is you can then make the game say, okay, I skipped the phase, I activate double trigger, and then I instantly turn it off again. And that gives you a little bit of breathing room. Also, I hate when he does that, because it just, you basically have to guess when he's going to attack you again. I did not mean to get that release at all, but I did. And I'm dead, all right. Virgil 2 will kick your teeth in if you don't know what he's doing, or know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Thing to mention about this fight is that he's got a mix-up right there, and it's very hard to tell that apart from when he doesn't do his rising kick. So sometimes you're just going to guess wrong. But that just means I get to prove that I know how to do this again. So now he's going to put up a shield, and we're just going to group around while it activates. And he jumps to the center. He's going to do a rapid slash. Wow, I'm lucky I caught him with that spin. Please die. Ooh, that is not good. Okay, I'm probably dead. Yeah, all right. I would like to apologize to myself and for the people watching this. Like I said earlier, I did not practice this game nearly enough. This game's actually hard. Like, it's hard casually, and the speedrun's also hard. So yeah, I was not as prepared as I should have been going into this game, but that's all right, because it's still enjoyable, I guess. Ooh, that is not doing the phase skip, because I released twice because I thought I missed. Okay, so what you do in this situation is just cause as much knockback as possible to him, and that is done through DT Helmbreakers. All right, again, we're probably gonna die, but that's all right. Wow, I didn't even guard that. Okay. Honestly, I'm really surprised I'm not doing well, even though, like I said, I didn't practice as much as I should have. Like, yeah, Virgil 2 can completely kick your teeth in, but, like, I thought I knew the game a little bit better than that. All right. But it's okay. The game's going to get significantly easier after we finish Virgil 2. That's because we get his weapon. Please just die. Please die. Thank you. All right, we are done making a fool of myself. Wowzers, that was not a good time, but all right. So anyway, Arkham reveals that he is alive, and that's not the menu you go into. You do that later. He reveals that he's alive still, and he kind of just completely destroys Dante and Virgil and another character called Lady, who's, please pick that up, Dante, who's just been sort of bystanding as a character, or standing by, I guess. Anyway, this is Beowulf. This is a completely balanced weapon. I don't want anyone else to tell you anything else about it, because it is balanced. Okay, but really though, Beowulf has like next to no range. You gotta be pretty much right in your target's face to use it. That's just a style statue. We gotta raise our style meter with a certain weapon to destroy it, to progress. But anyway, you gotta be right up in an enemy's face to use it, but holy moly does it deal more damage than pretty much everything else in the game. We're actually still short on herbs, so we're gonna get those. All right, so like I mentioned, it has no range, so I can't hit these guys with it. But that's okay, because I just do one full Rebellion combo and they are dead. You can't hit them from the front, because they won't die, and you can't hit them with guns, because they don't take damage from that. Also, there's a mode in this game called Hell in Hell, or Heaven in Hell, sorry. Hell in Hell is a DMC, that's not all the enemies. Is a DMC4 mode, but Heaven in Hell, everything dies in one hit, including you. So the strat is shoot everything with Ebony and Ivory and instantly win. Or at least the speedrun strat for that is. See ya, Dante. Those guys don't take any gun damage, so you actually have to hit them, and they deal very easy chip damage to you, but with their spinning blade shield thing. So yeah. Anyway, this is why this weapon is so good. It's a move called Killer B, and if I can do it properly, you can just jump cancel it to infinity. Like that. And it deals a crazy amount of damage. Like, that wasn't even good jump cancels. I canceled a lot of my attack damage with that. If you jump cancel too early with this weapon, you won't actually deal damage with it. I'm just gonna try to get some guard built up. Please. All right, well, I guess that didn't happen. So, basically everything that I couldn't jump cancel with A&R earlier, I can jump cancel now. And the game really does not expect you to be able to deal this much damage this quickly, and it kind of breaks a few things AI. My jump cancels do need to get cleaned up though, like right the heck now, otherwise I will get destroyed later. Oops, did that too early. Yeah, you can't kill an enemy with a double trigger explosion if it's still spawning. Jump cancels on certain chess pieces are very obnoxious because their hitboxes are kind of like an oval, and there's like a specific part that you can jump cancel on, otherwise you're not going to get it. That was a little bit of an awkward fight, but that worked, yes. Alright, 3 double trigger rune explosion there, or yeah, whatever the terminology is. Okay. Come on, please spawn, thank you. Also, one thing that Killer Bee jump cancels do extremely well is that they track enemies, as in, if you're not in line to hit an enemy, you will end up in line to hit an enemy. So, that's totally not broken. It's actually extremely helpful in certain cases, and otherwise it's just, it kind of messes you up because you are expecting a consistent trajectory with your Killer Bee. But that doesn't happen every now and then, so. However, in terms of just dealing raw damage, it's extremely good. Anyway, if you kill that guy, a bunch of enemies spawn, so don't kill that guy. And we're going to be picking up our last holy water that's just lying around in the run. It's hidden up here, because the game's very clever. Also, we're going to be getting these orbs, if I can get on this truck. All right, now we climbed a tower, and I really wish I could let cutscenes play. I'm actually, I'm doing quite a bit worse than I expected, so I was normally expecting to like let 1 or 2 cutscenes play, because, like I said, the cutscenes are very good in this game. Because Dante just rides up the entire tower on a motorcycle, because why not? However, we can't do that right now, because we need to pick up the pace. Anyway, these guys are fallen angels. The gimmick is hit them a bunch. You can't damage them when their light is up, but you can afterwards. All right, is your friend spawned? Is your friend spawned? Where's your friend? Oh, there he is. Cool. Double check explosion. That kills one of them usually. Kind of have to finagle around with the other guy to kill him. Also, these guys love to just hang out at the very edge of your range of weapons, so you sometimes just can't hit them. If you try to jump and jump cancel them, they will constantly rise up into the air to stay out of your reach, and that makes hitting them very annoying. And it's not the right direction. That's not the right attack, but okay. Another hidden orb cache, because I kind of need them at this point. Normally, you're supposed to play well and get a bunch of orbs from just having a high ending of mission rank. That's not the right weapon. But like I said, I've been getting my teeth kicked in a few places. So this mission does something interesting, as in you manipulate the tower in a specific way. The way this rotates is that there's a front side and a back side of the tower, and you rotate both of them depending on where you are and what thing you're hitting. If you do this properly, you will skip a fight from happening, and that fight normally takes like 2.5 minutes. It's pretty brutal. The thing that you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go through this area, and you're supposed to pick up... Wow, that guy was a jerk. You're supposed to pick up 3 of these fragments. I was trying to release off this thing because it looks cool as heck when you get it. Like that. But based on a clever death warp we do, very clever, and just manipulating the tower in the proper way, we can avoid dealing with a lot of crap in this mission. Normally you lock onto that guy when you do a spinner there, but I guess the game decided that it wanted to lock onto the other guy. There's actually a little bit of thought you can... Alright, I thought that was activating. There's a little bit of thought you can put into like activating those rune wheels more efficiently when you have 2 weapons, but I normally just hit them or style on them, which is not optimal, but you know, it's what I do. Alright, so you pick this up, kick, and get the heck out of this room. I actually need double trigger, so... If you don't have double trigger in the next area, it becomes a little bit frustrating to deal with. And that's just because there's a bunch of enemies as you're trying to hit something. Oh, good reverse spinners. Good damage boost. And that is this area. So what you do is you just go down here. It's not all the way down. Activate double trigger so you don't take as much damage from these blood boils as you're just constantly using melee attacks. And hit that twice. All right, now we're at the fun part where we need to prepare for our death warp. And that is done by just hitting ourselves against this thing a few times. I don't want to really risk another hit, so we're just going to get out of here. We'll take the slow death method because you get chip damage off these blades, even though they look like they're much more damaging than, you know, a spinning gear with, you know, teeth on it. They don't actually deal that much damage. Anyway, last fragment. The smash shoot to quick recover there and just die. Anyway, we have all the things we need to get out of this mission, and normally there would be a fight here, but for whatever reason, the trigger breaks. All right, trying to time this jump to get up there. Nope, did not make it. All right, so snapping back to the story, Arkham's about to become very powerful and get Sparta's power, because that was his plan all along. We're trying to stop that. Will we? Tune in next time. As in right now. All right, I messed that up. You can kick right into that door, but it's a little finicky. As in, like, I didn't time properly. Okay, so this is a puzzle. As weird as it looks, you got to make these balls hit each other, and if you don't do that, they won't break. That was a completely wrong angle. You can do this in something called one kick, which is... Oh, what the heck? What the heck? And that is so that you don't need to hit... All right, it's about to go back up, but maybe we'll get something out of this. Wow, I've not actually messed this up in ages. This is really surprising. All right, there we go. You gotta make them hit each other and then they break. I kind of didn't know what to do there because my strat didn't work. But anyway, more Fallen Angels, because these enemies are fun. Fun fact, you actually deal more damage to their light shield if you attack them sort of as a pseudo counter when they're doing an attack. You can't like full on counter them or like parry them, but like it does wear down their shield a lot quicker if you do that. Okay, what are you doing? Are you doing your spear throw? Yes, you are, except you threw it in the wall like an idiot. All right, free ride this guy. I didn't knock him down actually, so. Oh wow, I was not expecting to hit that, but I did. Very good of me. Okay, so now we're actually fighting enemies that, you know, we've seen Beowulf, or not Beowulf, we fought like before we had Beowulf, and you're just gonna see how quickly we can tear them down now that we have this weapon. 2 hits from Killer B and that thing's down. That should be everyone. Yep. Sometimes when the blood boils, just like to hide out in that room, it's a little hard to get him. Anyway, more switch cancels. So something I really got to do in this area is get a guard off an enemy attack. That's not switch cancels. And if I don't do that, then the boss fight coming up is going to be very obnoxious to deal with. Also, speaking of obnoxious, these guys have a hitbox that is very hard to jump cancel. You have like 1 frame to do it. Come on. All right, whatever. I'm just going to let you get off an attack. You're not even giving me an attack. All right, I guess that happened. Not at all what I expected you to target. Not at all what I expected you to target. There we go. 1 jump cancel. I actually need a... I really need guard here. Like, that's not a joke. Or I can just die. I guess that's also cool. Disappointed in myself right now, but that's okay. You can also charge up Beowulf's attacks that are on the ground, and they deal more damage that way. But you don't really do that in most places in the speedrun. Wow, I just can't guard that today. I'm just gonna roll guard it. Okay, that's not... Alright, alright, whatever. Read the wrong enemy. Alright, we have guard. Good. Alright, well, the knight doesn't... Oh yeah, that's right, there's another right after this. Wow, that's all right. You sometimes interact with things during combat, and it's extremely detrimental to your flow. Yeah, get on the boy. Get out of here. All right, so we basically did everything we needed to do in this mission outside of like just getting to the boss. We finished 2 areas. We got a mandatory item to progress, and now we're just gonna get out of here. If you're a little slow in this room, those enigmas can snipe you, but you have to be quite slow for that to happen. Anyway, next room, if I can actually enter the next room, I'm trying to do reverse standards even though I'm not doing too well. There's a weapon. We're not gonna pick it up because it's not good. Unless you're playing Gunslinger, in which case it's probably the best gun. Alright. Now comes Lady, that character I mentioned earlier. She's Arkham, aka the bad guy's daughter, and she's trying to kill him. She takes like next to no damage from guns, which means that she takes next to no damage from, you know, double check explosions. So you kind of just have to pound on her. All right, and she also likes to run away. Also, I'm trying to do a phase skip here. And that is why you enter this fight with guard. Otherwise, you will very likely not get this. Also, she likes to dodge your stinners, which is really weird. Normally, her second phase would just be like she hangs out on top of a bookshelf and constantly throws grenades at you, and it's extremely annoying to get her down from that. All right, that didn't go too terribly. Also switched to the wrong weapon. But yeah, now we got a gun, and we're not going to use it once, because it's, I mean, it's good, especially with roll guard, because you can guard cancel it, but we're not going to touch it, because we're fine with just shotgun. Anyway, mission 17. Dante confronts his inner demon or something. It's plot. Anyway, Arkham's in the demon world. That's a physical place in this game. All right, next area, we got to be really quick, because this area is on a cycle, and if we don't make this cycle, we lose a lot of time. Ooh, that was very close to not making it. All right, cool, we got it. So there's actually a double jump in this game, but we never purchase it because we need orbs for other things. Anyway, more of these boys. They're guaranteed to drop you white orbs, so I don't really care about using double trigger to get to this place. And it's not like having double trigger this fight makes them die faster because they're immune to double trigger explosion. Also, I can't remember which one I hit. All right, that one. All right, did I get... Nope, I did not kick into the door frame. That is disappointing. Oh well. Anyway, spike room, again, except the spikes are bigger and they cover more area. But now we have warmed up and we actually know what roll guard is, so we're... never mind, we're gonna get hit anyway. Ooh. All right, I gotta be a little careful here. All right, we're good. All right, now time for a new enemy. These are basically Scythe guys, except they're kind of like a combination of all the Scythe guys put together. The strat is to get him up in the air and just jump cancel them when they're down, because otherwise they will just come and try to own you. Like that. If you deal knockback damage to them or guard them out of an attack, they can ruin your day pretty easily. All right, did that double trick explosion hit all of them? It did not. A little disappointing. All right, some guard. Or taunt to get some double trigger. Hit this thing a bunch. The way orb crystals work is it's based off the amount of damage you deal, and it's also based off the amount of knockback you deal, and Beowulf is very good at both of those things. Please get in the door, thank you. All right, coming up is actually a fun boss, and that's, I'd say that's sort of unironically. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do in this fight, but sadly, doing the cool stuff loses you time. So what we're just gonna do is hit this twice, Helmbreaker it, or just do Killer B, and jump cancel him 3 or 4 times each time. and that deals enough damage there. This guy's weak to Beowulf, by the way. Come over here, please, for the love of heck, bud. Thank you. Okay, that was almost disastrous. Oh, no, it was disastrous. All right. That's all right, though. He got me out of the uppercut. So you got to open up all these lights to make him really take damage from things. And if you're not fast, these lights will shut on their own. I completely wasted a double trigger. That's quite not good. Maybe we can still get him for jump cancels. Nice. All right, that was actually really good jump cancels. Anyway, there's a new style we have. It's actually a fun style to play with. We're not going to touch it because it eats up double trigger to use. All right, we got 3 more missions left. Mission 18 is the obligatory boss rush. Wow, S rank. That's sort of surprising because I thought I got destroyed on that mission, but all right. This is obligatory boss rush as well as a interesting forced fight. That's most of the way I'm going to put it. It's supposed to be a chessboard, and enemies are supposed to like move like chess pieces, which they do. And they're supposed to be like, you have to like weaken enemies to make the king vulnerable. Except if you just use a holy water in a certain part of an animation, it makes all the enemies wake up, and it makes the king wake up instantly. And then that just destroys the entire chessboard. Very fast. Normally that fight takes like maybe 5 times as longer. 5 times as long. English is hard. Anyway, this area is weird because you can't use double trigger, you can't use like style moves, you can't actually run. And it's got a few other restrictions, but it's basically just a portal to enter boss rush. All right, so this should probably be obvious if you've been paying attention. Have I been paying attention? I don't know, but we'll figure it out in a bit. This guy's ice. Agni Rudra is wind/fire. I wonder how much damage he's going to take from that. The answer is a lot. Like that. Like you can't even really reliably jump cancel this guy, but like just hitting with aerial cross, it does so much damage. Oh dang, I almost got him down. Okay, cool. All right, next boss. A&R, except now we have jump guards, so this is going to be a lot easier than it was before. By that I mean I'm still going to mess up probably. We also have double trigger explosion, and that, like I said, way back, these guys take normal damage from guns as long as they're not combined. So double trigger explosion is just going to deal a certain amount of damage to them. All right, that's that guy down. Ooh, that's not good. I mean, that's not terrible, but like, it's not that good either. All right, and that is a boss. I love getting claps. It's very good, especially when it's for not great gameplay. But you know, I just say I'm playing very well, and you guys probably wouldn't know the difference unless I like literally die in the game. Also, that's not the right way to go. That is the way to go last fight. Now we're going to fight Beowulf again, and guess what? He can still do that same thing I was mentioning earlier, where he just makes you lose a bunch of time. I need some more guard. All right, that'll work. Ooh, this is an awkward angle. I can't really see your face. I totally missed that. Okay. Am I going to get the recovery? Yes, I am. Cool. That's sort of random because he can veer a different direction at the end of a certain part of his attack. All right. cool. That's what that's supposed to look like. All right, now we're at Royal Guard 3, and that just means we have more guard gauge, but it also means we have something that's it's completely worthless in terms of speedrun, and pretty much casually too. It's called Royal Guard Ultimate, and it's done by holding back towards your relative lock-on target, as well as holding down the style button, and it blocks projectiles and turns it into health. Novel, except it doesn't really work on most projectiles and barely works otherwise, so we don't ever use it. If Dante just puts his palm out like that, like he's saying, "Hey, bud, I've messed up." Anyway, time to buy a bunch of holy waters. All right, I can do a 5. Time to re-equip the good weapons. Also, we're barely just going to go under estimate in this game, so yay me. I really want guard here, so that's why I'm doing this and letting them attack me over and over again. Darn it. You can't get them when they're sliding into the ground like that. All right, next room. It's a puzzle. And by that, I mean just destroy the green mirror and hope you don't mess up. Because if you let one of the mirrors escape, you're going to be in this area for a long time. All right, this next room is also a puzzle, as in you got to kill these guys quickly. But, because this is a quote-unquote speedrun, we're probably going to do that. I should probably be using a little bit more of my double trigger here, but it's all right. Pretty sure I just jumped off that guy's sight, which is a thing that can happen every now and then, but it's sort of hard to predict if you're going to get it. All right, good. We have killed everyone, and we are going to enter that terrible boss I mentioned in a little bit, but first we gotta backtrack because this game loves its backtracking. All right, pick up that green orb because it's right there and it takes like 2 seconds to get and fully refills you. Anyway, we drop an item here and now we can go to this area, and now we can fight a bad boss, very bad boss. Normally you'd enter this guy with either like 6 holy waters or 5 holy waters, depending on how your route's been going. I usually go for 6 holy waters, even though it's slightly slower, just because I really do not like dealing with this fight. So you basically just double trigger and hit him a bunch, and that is the strat. Because he has a weird hitbox, and hopefully he's going to go down with this. All right. Oh, he just survived. Okay. He's like 1 or 2, barely a fraction of a hit away. So now we got to deal with these guys. I hope they don't kill me. All right, I'm actually really surprised Arkham hasn't dropped yet. Ooh, that was extremely close to dying. All right, we did not die. Because if we died there, that would actually be run over. That would, I would have to DNF. That's not a joke. Anyway, yeah, now you get Virgil and you lose double trigger and style. But Virgil's gonna do a funny dance as we just make it rain. Because absolutely fighting that guy is just one of the worst things you can ever do. Also, time's coming up relatively quickly, assuming I don't die on the last boss. Because, Arkham's not actually the last boss, Virgil is. I'm just gonna instantly dive into the fight, not even gonna buy items because I'm trying to get underestimate. All right. Now he's got his dad's sword, which is the Sword of Sparta. Anyway, we just jump cancel him a bunch, and that deals a lot of damage. All right, gotta get some guard. All right, he's probably gonna double trigger very soon, but there's only so much we can do about that. Like that, okay. We can still knock him out of it pretty easily, but it's a little bit inefficient. Okay. Got about enough guard. Okay, we got this. Time's coming up in just a second. Assuming I don't choke. Time! Oh my god. All right. Just to give you an idea of how bad Peter Afro's time is, I beat Peter Afro's time. And I died like 6 times or something. Anyway, yay me. It's always ironic how the game ends with the game yelling at you saying you can do better than that. Because I can do better than that. I can do approximately 10, 15 minutes better than that. But I did not. So anyway, Virgil gets owned. And Dante goes to this cutscene area. Fun fact about the PC version, this area doesn't really have textures like it's supposed to. Look, the horizon just doesn't really exist. Anyway, I'm gonna release through this guy and just end the mission. Right there. All right, somehow an S rank, yeehaw.
All right. Well, thanks, PvtCb, for a very stylish run. So, how buggy exactly is the PC version of this?
This PC version, the 2006 release. Sorry. Okay. This PC version, the 2006 release, really buggy, really unoptimized. Doesn't run there very well. But there's something called Style Switcher, which makes it run a lot better, and adds something called Style Switching, which is hot swapping your styles based on your D-pad, which is a feature that exists in Devil May Cry 4. The HD collection is slower for speedruns, but it's better casually. So just play that on PC.
All right. Perfect. Well, you came right under estimate. So
Yeah, somehow.
That's perfect.
Somehow. All right, you guys ready to cut?
Yeah, well, actually, we're going to get ready for the final run of the day, which is Amnesia: The Last Descent. We're going to do a quick setup, transfer from PC to PS4, and we'll be right back.
All right.